those who journeyed on earlier, and we haven't any more editions, so I'll ignore that a little bit. We begin with a tale from a wondrous realm, hidden within our sphere's visible day-to-day existence. I would like to take you to days long past, the days of the great wooden ships that sailed the seven seas, long before anyone was fool enough to think that iron could float. There lived a young sailor named Horatio Elijah Harrison Macduff. Yes, they knew how to name people then. Now, Elijah, being a most handsome fellow, left a trail of pining maidens in every port. Pining, as no matter their offerings, Elijah was an admirably faithful fellow, and he was betrothed to the fair Flora May. One fateful afternoon, as he rowed back towards his ship, there arose from the waves a creature more beautiful than anything he had e'er seen. Morwenna, a sea maiden, with hair as green as the fields in spring and as soft as the curling foam of the sea, with eyes as wide and clear and blue as the summer sky, lips so temptingly kissable. Elijah was an admirably faithful fellow, and he was betrothed to the fair Flora May. Elijah leant out and took the mermaid's chill white hand, gazed into those azure eyes, and all thoughts of Flora May were fled. From that moment on, the mermaid was a constant companion to the ship, and Elijah found many and many a reason to return to the rowboat. Such sweet kisses, such perfumed promises, such soulful looks were exchanged as the trade winds blew them back to old Blighty. He spoke words of undying passion, while she told tales of a leisurely life in enchanted palaces. Elijah was an admirably faithful fellow, and he was betrothed to the fair Flora May. All too soon his home port was sighted, and farewells must be said. Not, he swore, forever, but merely until the next ship should sail. She wept and watched from afar as the vessel made land, docked, and the crew disembarked. Upon dry land, away from the realm of the mermaid, our brave sailor's memory was, however, much restored. Pausing only for a pint or two of freshly pressed cider, he set forth upstream to the first village on the left, and beyond that to the third farm on the right. He found Flora May in the barn, took her hands in his, and smothered her with kisses. Elijah was an admirably faithful fellow, and he was betrothed to the fair Flora May. Oh, did she detect a whiff of fish upon his breath? She worried not, for what else would have been on the menu for all those weeks at sea? Morwenna, though, yet wept, yearning for those mortal arms to hold her again. She had only to wait. I think if you're taking it any further, you need to possibly move off the stage. Yes, now she had only to wait for the next spring tide, and still that seemed too long. Closer to the jetty she swam, closer than she had ever dared before, close enough to see that all the villagers were walking inland, disappearing over the hill towards the sound of a none too distant bell. Curious, she carefully swam between the boats beneath the bridge and into the mouth of the river. Although it flowed against her and the unsalted water tasted most strange, Morwenna's inquisitive nature was piqued, and she lashed her glorious tail all the harder. Had any of the village folk looked back, they would have wondered at the plumes of spray following them up the valley, yet all were intent upon the coming celebrations, and none turned their head. As the last laggard passed between the oaken doors of a small stone building whose use was unknown to the mermaid, Morwenna was unobserved as she peered through the riverside rushes. Oh, so many things to learn about these land dwellers. She slithered ashore afire with curiosity, shucked off her scaly tail, and then glistening gorgeously, she rose to her new-found feet and stepped bravely after the humans. Now remember, Elijah was an admirably faithful fellow and was betrothed to the fair Flora May. And there, oh joy, was Elijah, standing at the end of a short pathway between wooden benches upon which all those pesky villagers were seated. But who was that human girl beside him? Oh, Morwenna was not standing for this. Some warm-blooded wench leading her Elijah astray, blind to the horror on the gathered faces, the water sliding from her naked body. Shocked silent, Elijah gasped, but did not move towards her, clearly held back by that hussy. She grasped his free hand and pulled, her inhuman strength ripping him from the hand of Flora May, crumbling to her knees, her tears joining the stepped pools left behind by the shocking apparition that had just torn her love away. Those of the villagers who had the thought of Elijah's rescue could only watch with incredulous impotence as Flora May slowly left the church. Now far away from the overlooking humans, Morwenna slipped back into her tail in an instant, ensuring Elijah could keep pace. She slipped over the final width of terra firma, trawling her stunned sweetheart finally to reach her blessed water and to dive into the depths. Elijah was, after all, an admirable fellow and faithful, and he was betrothed to the fair Flora May. Down, down they swam. Oh, Morwenna could not wait. She clasped Elijah to her breast, but he didn't reach for her. His eyes did not look at her. She kissed him. He did not kiss back, and his lips were cold, lifeless, like hers. He did not breathe. Oh no, why did this happen again? And she threw her lover away from her, and he landed along with her ex piled up on the cement. Elijah had been an admirably faithful fellow, and he had wed the weeping Flora May. She knew but one cure for a broken heart, and so it was that she swam up again to the surface of the sea, where she scanned the horizon for signs of suitable sailors. Oh, and as luck would have it, there was indeed another rowboat approaching. However, this time, Morwenna may have met her match in more ways than one. And I am happy to report that Morwenna had indeed found a home and a family she had never dreamed possible. The Itinerant Bizarrium. Thank you, Morwenna. And thank you, Zachariah. Thank you. Now, I don't know, who have we got next? Sorry, did that hurt you?
Just a bit shocked.
Oh, there's plenty more shots coming. Now, oh no, I've just seen what's happening next. Now, before, actually, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to need a drink before this one. But before we embark upon our next adventure, I feel I should alert. Oh, good grief. Suffice to say, please, those of a more unrestrained manner in society, or those not so beholden to the truth of any situation, don't take any of Tig O'Branigan's capers as instruction or ambition. I wish you well, and myself fortitude. Now we have the fantastical fibs. What? Have you changed it again? All right. The fantastical tales and mighty legend of Tig O'Branigan. Now, whilst Tig O'Branigan... Yes, you may not feel like that later. Now, whilst Tig O'Branigan may look to be the youngest of our troop, remember, at the Itinerant Bizarrium, you cannot always believe your eyes, for rarely is anything as it may appear. Unique amongst our troop, Tig was born into the circus life. His earliest days were joyously spent travelling within a glorious golden Vardo, a sparkle with diamonds. Now, with diamonds and rubies. With diamonds, rubies, and emeralds. Sapphires, fire opals, we get the idea, it was fine. And nothing as common as horses for Tig. Oh no, horses, bah! A rhinoceros, I tell you. A zebra and an ostrich. Excuse me. But remember, Tig, that ostrich feathers, well, they are not particularly conducive to young boys who enjoy humbugs. Now, whilst this was certainly an idyllic childhood for Tig, there came a time when his parents, the troupe, the audience, indeed the entirety of Ireland, felt it was time for Tig to spread his wings, as I do elsewhere. And thus we find our young hero in the Highlands, in search of adventure. And as luck would have it, adventure obligingly arose in the form of a water monster. Yes, the biggest, the slimiest, the greenest, the smelliest monster. I'd already done it, but yes, the monsteriest monster you ever did see. The monster had only broken the surface of the loch as he, along with Tig, would travel any length, sell any relative, surmount any obstacle for humbugs. And Nessie could smell a peppermint humbug even from his lock bed lair. Now, having happily shared, because even though Tig may have some dubious, very annoying traits, selfishness is not one of them. So the two new firm friends shared the bag of delicious sticky minty treats, which was actually quite fitting because it happened to be Nessie's 8,475th birthday. Continuing the celebrations, they went water skiing. Very good, Tig. Now, although Tig had never water skied before, who'd have guessed that? Because never in the whole complete history of Scotland, of Britain, of Europe, the world, that's as far as I can go, been nor would there ever be a water skier to match. Tige and Nessie were now best friends, indeed the bestest of friends, and not wanting to part, decided to dive and explore the depths. There was a particular place that Nessie wanted to show Tige, a sunken city. And despite Nessie's thousands and thousands of years exploring this city, of course it was on his first ever visit that Tige found a curiously wrought crown of seashells, beautifully bejeweled. No sooner had he picked it up than a voice boomed forth, "I say, young fellow Millard, what's that you have there? Oh my, by Jove, I haven't seen that for millennia. 'Tis the lost crown of Atlantis. How can I ever reward you? Just name your price. Jewels, gold, the hand of my fairest mermaid." "Oh, Rowena, I know you are the fairest mermaid. But bear in mind this is Tige and his story, and yeah, thank you. Now, what can I give you?" Now, our hero wanted nothing other than a fresh bag of his favourite minty treats. "Good, thank you. In fact, make that two. One for him and one for Nessie." Now, leaving Nessie happily munching the minters, Tige, in search of his next adventure, found himself upon the misty moorlands and happened upon a tower. As you may expect, this is Tige, not just any tower. Oh no, this was the tallest, the strongest, I'm doing it, the most impenetrable tower in the history of the world, its walls unbroken, except for a teeny, Tige-sized window at the very top. Tige, undaunted, scaled the moss-encrusted edifice, and then, when he had reached the top, he tumbled. He climbed skillfully through the window, and Tige finds himself within the most exquisite chambre that the world has ever seen. Marble floors, carpets of fur, feather mattress bed, and drapes of silken satin. The silkiest silken satin that ever there was. Far more suited to such a hero than a mere caravan, albeit bejeweled. What lay at the top of those stairs, he wondered, as ever intrepid adventurer Tige approached, when who should appear? Princess Amaranth, the blondest, the beautifullest, yes, the bested princess ever, without a shadow of doubt. She exclaimed, "Dost thou planeth a daring rescue? For thou lookest the most dauntless daredevil I have ever laid my royal peoples upon." All right, Tige had nothing better on. However, did she have any humbugs for reward? Yes, she did. And thus it came to pass, remember, no door, our ever inventive, well, the inventiest inventor ever, took one look at the swathes of fabric that Amaranth was wearing, told her to spread her wings, stretching the sleeves, and launch themselves from the tower to freedom. Oh, and off they flew, scaling the heights, up and down hill and vale. Amaranth had never felt so free. And thus it came to pass that they reached her long-lost home. Her father, the grateful king, decreed this to forever be known as Tige Day. And so, having enjoyed the parade in his honour and being awarded a medal, possibly the biggest medal or the goldiest medal, or yes, the medaliest medal in the kingdom or the world had ever seen. And taking his bag of humbugs from Amaranth, Tige set off for his next adventure. Now Tige arrived as dusk falls upon the island of Turney Moon. Now just as 3 weird women appear to perform their nightly task of, you might have guessed it, turning the moon. There was Fanny Shortbread, Foy Corina McPherson, and Bogle Marie Robertson. They have been doing this quite a while now and didn't get many visitors. Well, this could have been on account of Bogle Marie's warts, Foy Corina's distinctive odour, or Fanny's. Whatever the reason, visitors were few, so you can well imagine their delight at the approach of our hero. The handsomest, hairiest, heroic, I'm doing it, hero ever, until, woe, woe, thrice woe, the end is nigh, the 3 weird women wailed, for the heavens were rent by a star of ill omen. In fact, the illest ominous star that had ever been rent. Fear not, for our fearless friend strode forth, drew his trusty pea shooter. Have you got your pea shooter, Tige? You have? Drew his trusty pea shooter, and with the heaviest heart, but prodigious puff, as he only had as bullets, Amaranth's humbugs, our Herculean hero blew the humbug's comet wood. 1, 2. Oh yes, one last suck upon the final meeting missile, and they were on track. It was headed for the target. It was going to hit the target. It would work. It would yay! Oh, and thus it was. Our eagle-eyed hero saved the world. Well done, Tyler. Yes, Tyler. And deserved more medals and parades, and indeed a bottomless bag of humbugs. How about that? Yes. Shall I take those for you, Tige? I promise I won't eat any. You know I don't like them. Yes, I know. Thank you, Tige. You can sit down there with them, but unfortunately, no. Okay, you won't sit down there with them. You stay there then. Ah, yes, I am sorry. Of course. And here we are. The chain, the leg end. Tige. Okay. Thank you, Tige. Let me take you now. You sit down here with Morgana. That's it. Right now, after Tige, and as I said, please don't take anything that just happened as anywhere near the truth. We will move on to something of true beauty arriving from adversity. I want to tell you now a story. Tige, you want to, you're down there. A true beauty. This particular performer, she has been with the Bizarrium for years, and her act never fails to mesmerize everybody that is watching. It was on the edge of her 13th year, abandoned and alone. The weeping girl wandered until at last, at an unmarked crossroads, Helga, returning from, well, best not to inquire too closely, took Selina Cosmia under her wing. Since that night, she has known no life beyond the warm embrace of Captain Zachariah's travelling troupe. Her promise as a unique performer was initially put to excellent use upon the flying trapeze. For who could resist the vision of a spider girl swooping above the tiered seats, leaving Myriad? Oh, that is beautiful, Selina. Oh, myriad spangled webs in her wake. However, Selina, forever craving the attention and adoration so rudely denied her from an early age, has always been able to single out a special friend. That is beautiful. Wherever the troupe pitches up, she likes to observe their amazement as she wraps her several limbs into unnatural positions, holding their gaze as she spins lazily by a single silken thread. Very occasionally, she will even invite one lucky friend into her caravan for, well, a sip of hibiscus tea. Strangely though, not one of these lucky fellows has ever been seen to leave her caravan. Although oddly human-eyed, crackling husks have sometimes been spread high in the branches of the tallest trees once the Bizarrium has moved on. Yet, what is it? What? Sorry, what is it? Oh, Selina Cosmia has seen someone she likes the look of. Yes, I'm taking you. But you're only going to be saying a nice hello. That's all. Okay? Yes. Where, oh. Hello. Hello. Yes. You? Hello. Yes. No. Selina, no, you can't bring him to your no. Selina, no, you can't do that. And Zach, yes, Zach says no. Thank you. Come on, Selina, let's go back. Selina, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Selina Cosmia. Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Now, our next performer is someone I marvel at. I know he's one of your favourites as well, Zach. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good day, good and discerning people of this charming hamlet of Glastonbury. I am Christophorus Corvinus, purveyor of potent panaceas. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now please withhold any alarm at my appearance. My mask is not for reason of any disease or rot. 'Tis purely to counter any suspicion that may arise in the dull, lifeless minds of the unimaginative from the slight marring of the unearthly beauty of my visage. Yes, definitely. I know you have your dreams. I know you have your wishes. I know you have your needs. And trust me, I have infinite learning across the spheres. I offer the very stars to serve you, the celestial vault to achieve success, avoid disaster. Only I can tame the elements, transmute the earth, the air, the fire, the water, into treasures that will raise you from the mire of mundanity. It is only I that can meld the flora and fauna, distill the flowers, pollens, roots, flesh and blood and bones. Suffer you from scurvy, scrofula or suppurations, all could be healed by my hand. 'Tis in my gift that these will incarnate your dreams, grant your wishes, indeed fulfill your needs. However, I am here for your deepest, darkest desires. Das gesehen. Okay, thank you. And to fulfill those desires will require me to lead you elsewhere, otherworldly. I am the path. No one enters on earth except through me. Through me, learn from the ancestors. Through me, you may commune with the blessed dead, and through me achieve dominion even unto the shades of hell. More than you have dreamt, more than you have wished, more than you have need of, more than you could have ever possibly known you desired. I am for the worthy, the curious, the deserving. I am for those upon the path. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Venus. That ends the second show we have. We will now do some reset for the third, because obviously very different performers. Yeah. Please, again, feel free to get some air and a drink. Thank you very much.